Welcome back to Martial Musings. This is Mr. Miyagi's Mini Tips, and it's time to wax off. Welcome back, and this is Mr. Miyagi's Mini Tips. What we're looking at today is the idea of wax off. Look, it's just a way of moving, isn't it? It's a particular way of moving, but I'm going to show you something that you can practice, but also show you something that you should, in my opinion, you should avoid. So, we did our waxing on, and we did our strike with that. For this movement, and it's all about using your hips with your hands so that whatever movement you're doing, you are using your hips to generate power and move with that. So a great little thing with this is to come around and block, and you can block and strike, you can block and strike, you can block and strike the arm, you can block and grab. Now, some people, a number of people, will teach to turn and grab. Someone's coming in to grab you, they're throwing a sloppy roundhouse. Obviously you've got plenty of time to see it. It's coming in and you come around and you grab. Okay? Students who know that this strike is coming in will often grab even if the technique asks for this. Why? Because in their mind they're taking a shortcut. There are no shortcuts in martial arts. If you think it's a shortcut, you're actually lost. And we know how that turns out, don't we? So, this, yes. This, not so much. Now, I'm not saying if you're taught to do that, that person who taught you that is wrong. What I'm saying is the people I train with, they show me respect. They show me respect by when I ask them to hit me, they try and take my head off. Now, if they try and take my head off with a round punch and I do this, two things usually happen. One, I end up with a damaged hand and a damaged face, because that's training for reality. I don't mean reality as in out in the street and 10 people jump on you and try and knife you and you're going to hit them with the butt of your gun and that sort of reality training. That's a thing for another day. There's a conversation in itself. What I'm talking about is if you're going to actually get grabbed, if you're actually going to have a punch come in at you, don't train to block it like this unless you can make that work. I'm not saying never do it, but you've got to make that work. So, wax off becomes wax off. And you can follow up with the other hand to grab. This takes the force, this takes the grab, then I can turn. From here, if I've got a wrist and an elbow, I'm in a good position. It may be this. Now I've got a wrist and a throat. Now I'm in a really good position. For me, I'm happy with that position. If I've got someone by the wrist and the throat, and I've thought through what I'm going to do. There's another topic. So, both directions, instead of turning and grabbing, turn and block, block and grab, block and strike, block and remove a testicle. No, I didn't do that, that's bad. Block and then grab. Even if all you're doing is, and then it's, so that you can take the force. Look, you've got all this locked in to take the force, not your fingers. So that's my mini tip for this week. Make sure that that you don't grab, because if you train with some reality, if you train your techniques under pressure, you're going to end up with a sore set of fingers and a sore face. Let's